"Excuse me, this machine needs wiping down." Emma's voice dripped with fake politeness as she gestured to the elliptical trainer. She was wearing the latest Lululemon outfit, her perfect ponytail swinging as she pointedly avoided eye contact with me. "Right away," I replied, keeping my voice neutral as I moved to clean the equipment. Just another day at Flex Fitness, where my stepdaughter pretended we'd never met. Through the gym's floor-to-ceiling windows, I could see my reflection. Gray polo shirt with the Flex Fitness logo, khaki pants, sensible shoes. Nothing like the power suits I used to wear when I was building this company from the ground up. Emma's friends clustered nearby, their whispers carrying clearly across the gym floor. "God, isn't it weird that your stepmom works here?" "So weird," Emma agreed, shooting me a glance. "Dad says she needs to stay busy or whatever. Like, get a real job." If they bothered to look closer, they might have noticed my sensible shoes were handcrafted Italian leather, or that the simple silver band on my finger was from Cartier. But people see what they expect to see, and everyone expected to see just another middle-aged woman cleaning gym equipment. My phone buzzed. A text from Robert, Emma's father. "We need to talk. Board meeting footage just leaked. Emma's going to find out." My heart skipped. The quarterly board meeting had been yesterday, where I'd appeared virtually as Alexandra Chen, founder and CEO of Flex Fitness. Usually, I managed to keep my corporate identity separate from my local gym presence. But yesterday, Emma's latest Instagram post about her embarrassing stepmom had been playing on my mind. I've been less careful than usual about the camera angle, about hiding my face. "When?" I texted back. "Tonight. Videos already circulating in the business news. It's time, Alex." I watched Emma and her friends move to the juice bar, the one I'd specifically added to this location because she once mentioned wanting one. Every smoothie she ordered, every new piece of equipment installed, every luxury amenity, all carefully chosen by the stepmother she was ashamed to claim. "Mrs. Chen." A voice interrupted my thoughts. Thomas, one of our scholarship members, stood nervously nearby. The boxing class schedule. "Is there a problem?" I smiled at the young man who reminded me so much of myself 20 years ago, hungry for opportunity, willing to work for it. "They moved my favorite class to peak hours." "I can't. I mean, my membership only covers off-peak." "Let me handle that." I made a note to adjust his membership level. Another of my secret projects, identifying promising young people and quietly upgrading their access. "Thanks, Mrs. Chen. You know, my mom used to clean gyms too. Now she owns her own fitness studio." I grinned. "Nothing wrong with honest work, is there?" "Nothing at all." He glanced at Emma's group, still loudly discussing the help by the juice bar. "Some people just don't get it." Emma's voice carried across the gym again. "I mean, she could at least work at the front desk or something. But no, she insists on cleaning. It's like she wants to embarrass me. If she only knew how many hours I'd spent on my hands and knees scrubbing gym floors when I opened my first location. How I still did it occasionally just to stay connected to every aspect of my business. How every CEO in my company was required to work in the trenches regularly. My phone buzzed again, this time with a link to a business news article. Flex Fitness CEO Alexandra Chen reveals expansion plans during quarterly board meeting. And it was my face, clearly visible in the video thumbnail. The same face that was about to clean the rowing machines. "Mom?" Emma's half-brother, Tyler, appeared at my elbow. At 12, he was the only one besides his father who knew the truth about my dual identity. Jessica's mom is outside throwing a fit about her membership again. Jessica's mom, Karen Williams, social chair of the country club and Emma's best friend's mother. She'd been trying to get me fired for months because I wouldn't give her free guest passes. "I'll handle it," I sighed, heading for the front desk. Karen was in full battle mode, designer handbag swinging as she berated the front desk staff. "Do you know who I am?" "I demand to speak to the owner." "I'm the manager on duty," I said calmly. "How can I help?" "You," she sneered. "I want the owner, not the cleaning lady. My daughter deserves premium membership status." "Mom," Jessica tugged at her arm. "Maybe we should." "No, I'm tired of dealing with minimum wage workers who don't understand quality service." Karen's voice rose. "Get me Alexandra Chen on the phone right now." I felt rather than saw Emma and her friends gathering to watch the show. Saw the gleam in her eyes as they anticipated Karen putting the cleaning lady in her place. Mrs. Williams, I kept my voice level. I'm afraid Ms. Chen isn't available for membership disputes. However, this is ridiculous. I'm calling corporate. She pulled out her phone, presumably to dial the CEO hotline that rang directly to the cell phone in my pocket. That's when Robert walked in. My husband took in the scene, Karen, red-faced and yelling, Emma and her friends watching eagerly, Tyler trying not to laugh. Karen, he said pleasantly, I see you've met my wife. Yes, yes, the cleaning lady. Karen waved dismissively. Robert, you really should speak to her about proper customer service. Oh, I don't think that's necessary. He smiled. Alex has been in customer service for over 20 years. Built quite an empire with it, actually. Emma's expression shifted slightly. She knew that tone in her father's voice, the one that meant something big was about to happen. In fact, Robert continued, pulling up the business news article on his phone. She was just in the news today. Would you like to see? Karen squinted at the screen, then at me, then back at the screen. Her face went from red to white. That's not possible. Oh, but it is, Robert said cheerfully. Karen Williams, meet Alexandra Chen, founder and CEO of Flex Fitness. Though you apparently prefer to call her the cleaning lady. The silence that followed was deafening. Emma's smoothie slipped from her fingers, splashing across the floor. She'd watched me clean so many times. Sometimes the best lessons about respect come with a price tag, and sometimes that price is paid in spilled smoothies and shattered assumptions. This is a joke. Emma's voice broke the silence. Dad, tell me this is a joke. Karen Williams had already backed away, muttering apologies as she practically dragged Jessica toward the exit. The front desk staff were trying desperately to hide their smiles. Perhaps we should continue this conversation in my office, I suggested, gesturing toward the door marked management only, a space Emma had never seen me enter. Inside, the office told its own story. Headlines from Forbes and Business Weekly lined the walls. Alexandra Chen, the Queen of Fitness, declared one. Flex Fitness Revolution. How one woman changed the game, announced another. Sit down, Emma, Robert said gently. She sank into one of the leather chairs, still staring at me like she'd never seen me before. How long, she managed. I founded Flex Fitness 23 years ago, I said, taking off my polo shirt to reveal the silk blouse underneath. Started with one rundown gym and a dream. Now we have 300 locations, 15,000 employees, and, I smiled slightly, one very surprised stepdaughter. But you clean equipment. You wear a uniform. You let people treat you like someone less worthy because of their job. I finished. Yes, I do. Every executive in this company works regular shifts doing every job, from cleaning to training to front desk. It keeps us connected to what matters. Emma's eyes darted to the latest Forbes cover on the wall, me in a power suit, looking nothing like the stepmother she'd been embarrassed by for the past 2 years. The boxing class Thomas takes, she said slowly. The juice bar. The new yoga studio. All because you mentioned wanting them, I nodded. I've been quietly making this location everything you dreamed of, while you dreamed of having a different stepmother. Tears welled in her eyes. Why didn't you tell me? Would it have made a difference? I asked gently. Would knowing I was rich have made me more worthy of respect? That's not. I didn't. Yes, you did, Robert interrupted. You judge Alex based on her job, just like your friends did. Just like Karen Williams did. But everyone did. Emma burst out. At school, at the country club, everyone talked about how Dad married the help. And you chose to be embarrassed instead of defending me, I said quietly. That's why I didn't tell you. I wanted to see who you really were, Emma, not who you pretend to be, for money. She flinched. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know, I sat down beside her. But sorry doesn't fix this. Actions do. What? What happens now? Well, I pulled out a folder. First, you're going to learn what it really means to run a fitness empire. Starting tomorrow, you're working here after school. Every position, just like our executives do. What? But I have dance class and social committee, and now you have a job, Robert said firmly. Time to learn what your stepmother's been trying to teach you all along. That every position has value, and every person deserves respect. Emma's phone buzzed, probably her friends, wondering what was happening behind the closed office door. She ignored it. The new fall campaign, she said suddenly. The one about breaking stereotypes in fitness. That was you. I nodded. Every model in those ads is a Flex Fitness employee, including the CEO cleaning equipment in the background of the main shot. She pulled up the ad on her phone, zooming in on the background figure she previously ignored. Oh my God. There's something else, Robert added. Show her, Alex. I reached into my desk and pulled out another folder, the plans for Flex Fitness's new teen wellness program. I was going to announce this next month, I explained. A comprehensive fitness and nutrition program specifically for teenagers, with mental health support and body positivity coaching. I wanted you to help design it, Emma, because despite everything, I've seen how you encourage the younger girls at the gym, how you help them with their form, how you stand up to body shamers. When they're not my stepmother, you mean, she said bitterly. We all have room to grow, I said, squeezing her hand. I didn't build this company by giving up on people. A knock at the door interrupted us. Tyler poked his head in. Mom? Karen Williams is back. She's offering to resign her membership. Tell her that won't be necessary, I said. But she's welcome to join our new community outreach program. The one where members volunteer at local shelters and soup kitchens. Emma's head snapped up. Can I help with that too? Of course. I smiled. There's a lot of work to be done, and not all of it involves cleaning equipment. She stood up, squaring her shoulders in a way that reminded me of myself at her age. I want to start now, not tomorrow. Today. You sure? Robert asked. Your friends are still out there? They're not my friends if they only like me for my family's status, she said firmly. Besides, she managed a small smile. Apparently I need to learn more about my family's actual status. I handed her a polo shirt identical to mine. First lesson. Every job matters. Ready to learn how to properly clean an elliptical. She took the shirt, then surprised me with a fierce hug. I'm so sorry, she whispered again. I'll make it right. I know you will, I hugged her back. Because under all that designer workout wear beats the heart of a true Chen woman. Strong, determined, and ready to prove herself. As we walked back onto the gym floor together, matching polos, matching purpose, I heard the whisper start again. But this time, Emma held her head high. Hey everyone, she announced to her watching friends, meet my stepmom, the real one. We've got some cleaning to do. Sometimes the best workouts strengthen more than muscles. And sometimes the heaviest weights we lift are our own prejudices. 3 months later, Emma stood beside me at the podium, her polo shirt now emblazoned with Youth Program Director beneath the Flex Fitness logo. The press conference room was packed with reporters eager to hear about our new teen wellness initiative. Before we begin, I addressed the crowd. I'd like to share a story about how this program was born. It started with a lesson in humility, taught by a teenager who learned it herself. Emma squeezed my hand as I continued. Many of you know me as Alexandra Chen, CEO of Flex Fitness. But for 2 years, I worked anonymously at one of our locations, cleaning equipment and restocking towels. Not because I had to, but because sometimes the view from the ground shows you what you can't see from the top. The reporters leaned forward, sensing a story beyond the usual corporate press release. What they don't know, Emma stepped up to the microphone, is that I was that location's most entitled member. The one who looked down on the cleaning staff. The one who didn't know that the woman I dismissed as just the help was actually my stepmother. And the owner of the entire company. Cameras flashed as she continued. But she taught me that true leadership isn't about titles or corner offices. It's about understanding every aspect of your business, respecting every person who makes it run, and never being too proud to do the work yourself. A reporter raised her hand. Miss Chen, are you saying you didn't know your stepmother owned Flex Fitness? No. Emma smiled. I was too busy being embarrassed by her menial job to notice she was teaching me the most valuable lesson of my life. Now I'm proud to say I've worked every position in our gyms, just like our executives do. And I've learned that sometimes the most important work happens while holding a cleaning cloth. The questions flew about the team program, about our management philosophy, about the unique mother-daughter partnership we'd formed. But the real story was in the details they couldn't see. Like how Emma now spent her Saturday mornings teaching fitness classes at the local youth center. How she turned her social media influence into a platform for body positivity and workplace respect. how she'd inspired a whole new generation of young members to view fitness as a journey of self-discovery rather than self-criticism. One last question. A reporter called out, "What happened to the friends who used to mock your stepmother?" Emma's answer was diplomatic but firm. They were invited to join our community service program. Some did, some didn't. But the real friends, the ones who matter, are the ones who clean equipment beside me and understand that no job is beneath anyone. Later in my office, Emma collapsed onto the sofa. That was intense. "Welcome to corporate life," I laughed, kicking off my heels. "Ready for your next challenge?" She groaned. "Please tell me it doesn't involve more public speaking." Actually, I pulled out a business plan. It involves opening our first Teams-only Flex Fitness location. With you as the managing director. Her eyes widened. Really? Really, you've earned it, not because you're my stepdaughter, but because you've proven you understand what this company truly stands for. She was quiet for a moment, fingering the logo on her shirt. You know what's weird? I'm actually prouder of this polo than I ever was of my designer workout clothes. Because you earned it, I said simply. Every bit of respect you get now comes from who you are, not what you wear or who you know. A knock at the door revealed Tyler, also in a polo. "Mom, Emma, the new equipment's here for the youth center." "Need help unloading?" Emma was already on her feet. "But you just did a press conference," Tyler protested, in heels. She grabbed her gym shoes from under my desk. Rule number 1 of Flex Fitness. Everyone does every job. As I watched my children head off to unload trucks together, I thought about the long journey from that first rundown gym to this moment, about how success isn't just measured in locations or revenue, but in the lessons we learn and teach along the way. Sometimes the greatest strength isn't in lifting weights, but in lifting each other up. And sometimes the best business decisions aren't made in boardrooms, but in moments of genuine human connection, even if those moments happen while cleaning gym equipment.